Welcome to the AI Bots podcast. I'm insert name here, and with me is my co-host, insert name here.
Oh man, do you remember when we did that?
Yes,
mate. For people that don't know, when we did our first episode, we used to think that let's keep all these little bits so that we know what to talk about, blah blah blah.
Let's script
and then
it.
yeah, and we used to put insert name here because we didn't know which one of us was going to be introducing and blah blah blah. And then we were like, hang on, we got to the end of the show and it was like we didn't even look at that, did we? So,
No, mate. No, mate, not at all.
Yeah, nice of you to go back to like square one, as it were.
Yes, mate. After 10 shows, I thought, right, I'll go back to square one, see if we can do it from the script.
The great thing is now we know each other's names, and my name's Dan, and this is Chazzy, and welcome to the AI Bots.
Hello.
So who's going to start with what we've been playing? Because I just swapped that about, haven't I? Whoa.
Yes, mate. You freaked me right out.
Yeah, I know. Should we go back to normal?
Yes, let's go back
I'll
to
start
normal.
with what I've been playing.
Okay.
Right. Well, I've had a weird week this week. You know,
Right.
E3.
Yeah.
I got really, really excited over it. I do every year. I think I might have said last week. It's one of those things I really look forward to. As a lot of geeks do, it's your sort of staple for news in the year, isn't it? It's like.
Did it get you like a giddy schoolgirl?
It never does. That's the whole point.
That was an unusual noise, mate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like my Japanese grumble. I think it's like an anime grumble. Yeah,
Sounded slightly sexual to me. It was
well, to you, you're right. Hang on, you've got to edit this. Oh, don't listen back to that, dude.
it was more like kind of, oh god, E3. Oh god, yeah.
E3. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I usually really like the E3 show.
Yeah.
But it's not like. You know that nothing that exciting is going to happen, at least in the past few years. Since we got the internet, a lot of it gets leaked beforehand. And a lot of it, they wait until in the summer because they think, all of our competitors are going to have shot their bolt at E3.
Yeah.
So let's wait a month or so. So it's never as exciting as it used to be, like sort of 90s, early noughts. But yeah, it kind of got me not disillusioned with gaming, but you know when you get a bit of a burnout.
Well, yeah, so it's weird though, because we are in that kind of, we're waiting for the new consoles to come around and everyone's sort of almost treading water.
Yeah.
So it's, I know what you mean. There's this weird calm before the storm feeling, you know? Like, if you look at 2013 and all the games that have like been shifted into there, looks like next year's going to have a real good run of games for like the last great push of, you know, big titles before the next generation comes through. So yeah, I know what you're saying, man.
But I know there's no date for Grand Theft Auto 5 yet.
Yeah.
But a lot of the rumour for why things were moving to 2013 was Grand Theft Auto 5. But now it looks like Grand Theft Auto 5 might also be 2013 as well. So
mate, February, February, March looks like it's going to be incredibly busy for games.
Right, are they moving Christmas or something?
Yeah, pretty much, mate. Pretty much. Santa's like having trouble getting like everything delivered Christmas Day, so they're moving it into February.
Hey guys, my paycheck doesn't come through till January 20.
Where's Santa from? Greece?
He's from somewhere non-specific, but it's not England or America or Canada or Australia or any accent I can actually do.
That's your non-specific international accent, is it?
Yeah, Santa is Borat. Everyone knows that, surely.
Well, he's got the beard and moustache for it.
yeah, vaguely. He's on the way, yeah.
Right, anyway, back to...
Santa Baron Cohen.
Right.
Yeah, so, E3, it made me not want to play anything of this generation at all.
Okay.
I thought, right, I'm going to take myself back. So I watched a couple of old E3 conferences.
Right.
Like the little speeches, like the older, when Sega were doing like Dreamcast E3 conferences and that kind of thing. And I was like, I really want to play my Mega Drive. So, although all of these games I do have on cartridge, and I'm not just saying that, I know people often on podcasts are like, oh yeah, I undownloaded this, blah, blah, blah. But I really do own these cartridges. But it was easy to emulate, and I can have the sound in stereo on the headphones. And I really wanted to play Wiz and Liz. I think I've spoken about this on the first episode.
But, yeah, I remember you talking about this.
Yeah, but I've got this, I've set myself my own achievement on it, and I don't even know if it's possible without cheating to create. Right, in the game, you've got all these recipes you can create. Like you have to add, say, a carrot and a banana, or a strawberry and a orange, and like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I want to try and create every possible combination within one game of playing it.
Oh, bloody hell.
So yeah, I've set myself a little achievement on that.
Right. Are you going to once you've done it, you're going to sit there and go, bloop, bloop, achievement unlocked?
Yeah,
to yourself.
I'm actually going to program a little flash, like a something within a Genesis emulator that I can put my own. Oh man, that's an idea for emulator programmers, right? You could put your own achievements into games.
Interesting.
That isn't interesting.
Yeah.
Like, that's on the fly, man. But I think there's some legs in that. Like, you could, in Super Mario Brothers, people could put like achievements in NES games. That'd be quality.
Retro achievements.
If any of you know anyone that makes emulators or anything like that, like, you wouldn't even need to hack the ROM. You just need the ROM to tell the emulator that this is happening. Like, oh, he's jumped over his 10th Goomba. Like, 10th Goomba jump over unlocked, whatever. So yeah. I went back and played This Wiz and Liz.
Yeah.
And it's a really good game, but the soundtrack is outstanding. Like, you could probably play most of it and think it was like chiptune dance tunes made in the past couple of years.
Absolutely.
So I ended up just sort of like getting lost in that for a while rather than completing my personal achievement. And then it got me thinking, oh yeah, Mega Drive soundtracks. I need to listen to more of those, blah, blah, blah. So I got on this old Streets of Rage 2, which is like obviously
Classic.
Mega Drive classic. Yeah.
Man.
Like, again, they're like club quality tunes from the night. I don't know how he did that stuff.
No, the soundtrack to all of those is superb. I love those.
I'm
not a big kind of, like game soundtrack guy, you know.
Yeah.
But like that and kind of, there's a few that really stick in my mind, and that's one of them, man.
Like, being not a soundtrack guy, that's probably kind of why, because it harks on stuff like Shaman and Alternate and The Prodigy from the time. Do you know what I mean? It's very much him trying to emulate what was going on in the techno scene around him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's me saying I don't know how he did it, but I did a whole essay for college on how he actually did the Streets of Rage soundtracks. I'm not going to talk about it on the podcast because it's really, really boring. But if anyone does want to know, then yeah, like get in touch on Twitter or something.
You'll send him a PDF of it.
Yeah, exactly. I can bore you to death on how Yuzo Koshiro got those sounds out of a YM2612 sound chip.
Jeez.
Yeah.
No. What? Sorry, what were you saying?
Anyway, yeah. So I went from there, and then into Bubba and Sticks. Have you played this?
I do remember it from back in the day.
I think it was on the Amiga as well. So yeah, you might have had a little hooky disc of that from school or something.
Right.
But not that you would have done that kind of thing.
No.
You might have heard people talk about.
As I've said before, I was a virtuous young child.
Of course. Yeah, it's an early core design game. You know who made Tomb Raider? And
Yes.
Yeah, they are the Tomb Raider guys.
Later became IDOS and
yeah, part of IDOS. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of their early games, and you play a bloke in dungarees, so it's obviously very 90s. But he's kind of a redneck-looking bloke with a stick, but the stick can transform into other things.
Mm-hmm.
But I only played it this time round to go into the sound test and listen to the tunes.
Oh, nice.
Fucking unbelievable. Like, seriously, it goes from like sort of a bit of dub reggae, then it will suddenly go into sort of like some pumping techno. Then it'll go into like carnival reggae style, do you know, like where it feels like you're on the streets of Notting Hill, like putting your hands up in the air. It was, yeah. So I had myself a crazy rave.
Crazy rave to like old school games.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I just listened to the whole soundtrack. It, like, and the great thing is, a lot of these old chip tunes, they kind of do a 30-second loop and then go back on themselves. This one, you can think it's doing that, and then you listen for 2.5 minutes, and then suddenly it goes in a completely different direction. And it's like, hang on, there wasn't like this weird sort of sunny, happy, hardcore bit there.
There's some serious effort's gone into this that I never really fully appreciated. Yeah.
So that's been most of my week in gaming, pretty much.
Really?
Other than
raving in your bedroom.
Yeah. I just went back to like old Mega Drive chip tunes. So,
nice.
It's been kind of a weird one. I've got something else that I've done, but again, it's a bit waffly. So
no, go for it, man.
I might leave that for a while. Well, I might leave it for a while, man. And what have you been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing. I've been trying to play DayZ. So I've been hearing a lot about this. This is like kind of
DayZ. Give me your answer.
Yeah. Every other podcast has made that joke.
Oh, have they done that?
Oh, yeah, mate. Don't worry, that's been rinsed to death. So what DayZ is it's a mod for Arma 2. Do you know what Arma 2 is?
I've heard of it. It's kind of, from what I know, it's say your Battlefield meets Operation Flashpoint, like slightly more realistic Battlefield. Would that be right?
It's like a really hardcore military like sim game.
Yeah.
And what these guys have done is they've made a mod for it where it turns one of the maps into this like full-on zombie apocalypse, where you're just trying to survive. And it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's a PC-ass PC game. I mean, I dusted my PC off because I haven't used it for a while, and this is like the definition of PC gaming. My whole experience with it, because it's this game that's so full of promise because it sounds amazing because it's this whole land full of zombies and you've got to try and survive and you've got to go around looking for like foraging for bits and weapons and ammunition and food, and you've got to like drink water to survive and scavenge for food to like eat and that kind of stuff.
See, from what I've heard, it sounds like what you'd want Left 4 Dead 3 to be.
Yeah, I mean it's like Left 4 Dead like 3 or 4, like it's if
Both.
about
Left 4 Dead 7.
Yeah, exactly. If you it's like what they said with Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's going to be Left 4 Dead 3, 4, and 5. But no, it's the zombie game that you've always wanted in your head.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's this whole thing of PC gaming where it's got so much promise, but it was such a pain in the arse for me to get running, because you're having to get all these files off their website. You have to buy it, Armour 2, and then you have to kind of distribute these files into Armour 2 in a certain folder in a certain way. You have to go through reading through all these luckily they've put a web video up on their website now of how to get it all installed and stuff, which makes it a lot easier. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of fiddling about to get it to set up.
Fiddling about in a PC game, never.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? But what
they should do is invent a way that you can play games, right? Maybe even on your TV screen where you don't have to install and patch things.
Yeah, I know. That would be amazing. Just like a box that you just put a disc in and it works.
Yeah. And maybe without the keyboard and mouse, you could have something like with, say, maybe
like a pad.
Like, how would you do the mouse though? Oh, another stick. Use a right stick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not running down PC games because I do love all that kind of.
Likewise, I'm a whore for them.
Yeah, so we're already taking the mickey, but I mean, it was a little bit fiddly to set up, and it is a mod, so that's to be expected. But this is once I got it all installed, it took me 3 hours to get onto a server to get into a game, because this is all hosted. This is hosted on
locally.
On private servers.
Yeah.
By just guys trying to run servers to get into their own games.
Yeah.
But then it sends data to a central server for the guys who've made the mod, so it keeps a persistent log of your kit and stuff like that.
Oh, so it is literally one world. There's not like
no. It's one world.
Of DayZ. Yeah. There is just
there is just DayZ, and each world is on each person's server that they've set up, but it's always the same world.
That stays persistent.
But your character is held on a server at I can't remember the developers of the mod's name, but it's held on their server. So it has to constantly check back when you reload your character to see what you've got and where it's coming from.
So it's not like end of the round, you scored this many points.
No, not at all. This is like World of Warcraft. There is just one big map that's like kilometers and kilometers wide, all the way around in a square. And you're basically just going off into the world. Like, the best way I can describe it for people who don't know what it is, it's really like the Fallout games. Like, if you imagine Fallout 3, where you're wandering around just in this big, open, empty, kind of desolate area. I mean, admittedly, this is like sort of based on the Russian map, so it's kind of got trees and hills, and you come into an abandoned village or town, or you'll find at the top of the map there's a military facility that's been abandoned, and all this kind of stuff. So you're wandering around these really, really bleak environments, just looking for stuff to survive with. And then on top of that, you've got every other player in the game, any other human player in the game is either a survivor, which means they're doing the same thing as you and they're friendly, or they've turned on their other players and are griefing, shooting their other players and nicking their gear. So
all of the zombies AI then? There are no humans.
All of the zombies are AI. All of the zombies are AI. That's the only AI in the game. Everyone else is player characters. So not only are you having to worry about the zombies, but you're also having to worry about bandits as well, trying to nick your gear and take you out. So it really, really does give an air of tension. Because you can think, right, I've cleared out this amazing, like little cubby hole full of stuff. But then you might have been tracked by a bandit for the last hour, and they're just waiting for you to go into this shack to take your stuff and then come in and just ambush you. So at all times, you're constantly in a heightened state of, I've got to, got to get in, got to get out. It's brilliant. It gives an air of tension. The only thing is, obviously, it's very much like Fallout, where you can go for hours and not see a goddamn thing. I mean, there's a number of times I've just been walking across massive fields with nothing there, no zombies, no nothing. So you've got
That's probably why people become bandits, though, isn't it? Like, the game is giving them a reason to go, actually, fuck it. The next person that comes into this world, I'm going to nick all their shit. I need to give them something to do.
But it's a really clever way of using griefers.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. I didn't mean it as a bad thing. It's
yeah. It's just a really clever way of taking griefing in a game and then using it as a game mechanic. I really like that.
As a quick question,
yes.
The $1 million question, really, are the bandits responsible for more tension for you in the game than the actual zombies are?
Yes, they are, because
wow.
See, the thing is with the zombies, that
they're all AI controlled. You can just do a headshot or whatever.
Yeah, to a point. Yeah. I mean, they go down with pretty well. If you have a rifle, they'll go down with one shot, and it's center of mass as well. You can shoot anywhere on them, and they'll go down one shot. It's not like you've got to go headshots every time. But where the tension is knowing that, like, you'll be scoping something out, and then all of a sudden you'll hear a shot just whiz past your ear or hit the ground by you, and you're just like, shit. And then you know it's on, because you know
who the fuck is that?
Yeah, who is that? I can't see him. I don't know where they are. They obviously know where I am. Like, I am really in trouble now. And it really does ratchet up the tension. I mean, there's so many stories. Like, this is the other thing with this game, is it's like Battlefield. When you hear the Battlefield moment. Yeah. Well, this has DayZ moments where just mad emergent things just happen.
Or like Skyrim, where you get whole tumblers dedicated to nothing that's actually happening in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
About what you read into what was going on.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, like, I had just as my own personal one recently was managed to find a Winchester rifle. Got to a village, thought, right, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be incredibly clever. I'm going to scope. There's a big rock ridge looking out over this village. I'm just going to lay down on this rock ridge. Rock ridge. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna. Yeah, it was very much like much like an 80s hair rock tune. No, I was lying down, just snot, and I thought, right, what I'm gonna do? I'm up here. They're not gonna be able to climb up onto this like big rock. I'll be safe. I'll just start picking off the zombies from the front of the village. Go in, search the houses at the front, then go back to my rock, and then just keep going backwards and forwards like that, just taking them out in stages. Yeah. Until I've cleared out the whole village, and I can then just scavenge as I like. Quite like a good plan.
With no pockets of his own to put his stuff.
Yeah, exactly, man. And you think, oh, that's it. I've got a plan. Nice one. I'm sorted. Up on the rock ridge, take out the first couple of guys. They go down one shot, thinking, yeah, I've got this sorted. I'm the daddy. Take out the third guy. What I hadn't noticed is directly below me was about 30 zombies, all in a big crowd in this forest. And I thought, and then all of a sudden I just heard them rush, and I was like, oh my God. Right, don't worry, don't panic. You're up on this rock, they can't climb up onto it. I was wrong. They climbed up onto this rock, and now I'm like basically on a...
Hang on, these aren't Resident Evil zombies.
No, exactly. I'm like on a pirate's gangplank, backing away from these zombies on this rock ridge, like, right, I've got two choices. I can either jump off this to my certain death, or I can take out as many as I can with my pistol, try and run through them, and then just run up this hill and just keep running until I run out of breath. And hopefully they'll miss me, because what they'll do is also, if you run, they work on line of sight. So if you can get out of their line of sight and hide, they will eventually sort of forget where you are.
Wouldn't that be the perfect place, right? If we suddenly cut to like this zombie Benny Hill sketch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Brains. Yeah. Exactly. We're not going to bother recording that. Like, if you're listening, don't think we're actually going to do that. But
exactly. But yeah, so what ended up happening?
You've had a sketch there in us actually doing it. But
yeah, exactly. So we ended. Yeah. So that was it. So I ended up. That was what I did. I just fucking shot as many as I could, and then just ran for it. And like this, I was so tense. Like, I literally ran for about a good hour, trying to get away from these guys, thinking, right, yes, I've got away, turn around, and then hear, I was like, oh, for God's sake, just keep going. But it's brilliant. You just get yourself in so much trouble in this game. It's untrue. And you will be swarmed and you will be killed. I think, like, at the moment, it's like 20 minutes is the longest kind of, as the average life. expectancy in the game. You know.
See, having not played Arma 2, the voice chat.
Yes.
Does that work? Like, can bandits lock themselves purely to like their own channel or something? Or
I don't know, but I know it's proximity voice.
So you can only hear what makes it work then. Yeah,
it only works. You can only hear the people that are around you.
Yeah.
So that's quite nice. But you do get a lot of there's like sort of like you get in WoW, you get the chat channel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on, and people talking to each other backwards and forwards through the chat channel and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I've only played it as a single person running around, and I think this game would be amazing if you've got a group of 4 mates and you can organise yourself enough to get yourself all in the same place at once and then move on as a group.
So all I need is 2 more mates and a really good PC.
Yeah, other than that, mate, and you're laughing.
I'm sorted.
Yeah.
To,
like $1.50 later and, and going
and then buying a new PC.
Yeah, exactly. And then going on every forum known to man.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. But no, honestly, I've had really good fun with it, but I really want to play it with other people because, it has been really just tense is the word.
See, I love a good first-person shooter. But a lot of them seem to be really samey the past couple of years, and this sounds like it might actually be my cup of tea.
This is one of those games where it's rough. It's rough, very rough around the edges, but the concept and the feel of it is so good. You just want someone, like you were saying, like you want Valve. What would be the perfect scenario would be for Valve to pick this up, and then they put out a Left 4 Dead 3 just to keep the franchise in the the minds of the people, and then to take this idea and give it like 2 or 3 years of development, and really make it into, like you say, Left 4 Dead 4.
You're pretty much reading my mind. I was going to say the same. Like if Armor picked this up,
the problem I found with this is I've done a lot of like walking for 2-3 hours and nothing happening and nothing, just in empty environments. Whereas if it was a bit more, even if you kept it the same size but packed it with more villages and stuff, it would be slightly more interesting because you'd always be constantly coming across stuff.
Well, if it's going to be a full retail release, I guess they'd have like maps across the globe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Of a similar size.
Yeah, so, exactly. I mean, having said that, they're actually selling maps of the environment with all the names on it and stuff as like a separate thing. So it is getting quite. There's a lot of emergent stuff coming out of it in the real world.
See, I'm looking at maybe building a PC before the end of the year. So it would be lush if that got picked up, just to give me sort of that kick up the arse to actually sort out the components and get it all done.
It is mad that like people are now getting to that stage where with PCs where. Like the consoles,
it's a lot like the mid-90s again, isn't it? Where it's the mod community that are driving things forward rather than the actual development community who are just making ports of 360 games.
But also everyone knows they're coming to the end of their console life and they're now looking at PCs to fill that gap between getting the new
again,
console
like Half-Life was back in, say, 97, 98, where everyone knew, well, the Dreamcast is on the way, the PlayStation 2's on the way. Like, it's the perfect point for the PC to jump in and suddenly grab a whole load of new people, isn't it? So.
Yeah, exactly. And like you say, there's so many like little lots of indie stuff coming out, and don't want to really say a renaissance because that kind of sounds a bit wanky, but like there is kind of a new movement.
By now, it's almost a renaissance, and I haven't got to stutter. It's literally a renaissance.
All right, fuck off.
Sorry. It's National Damn Be a Twat Sunday, I think. Yeah, I get sponsored for this. It's all for charity. It's fine.
It's all right. You've made about $2,000 already.
Yeah. I'm going to start tweeting celebrities saying, I'm being a twat for charity. Can you retweet this, please?
Right. Anyway, right. So what have you done then? What's so amazing that you've done?
Oh, man. I'm not big on it, man. I just said I really want to play this game. I'd love to play it. It's just that if I tried to run it on this laptop, man,
it'd be like
the whole
a slideshow.
Thing creaked to a slowdown. Yeah, it creaks to a slowdown when I try and run like what we're doing for a show on a Sunday. It's like, can I do Google Docs and Skype at the same time? And Audacity. People have been talking about Darksiders a lot this past week, and I thought, I'm going to go back to that. I played it before, and I should have liked it. It's a Metroidvania game. It's exactly in the kind of style of game I like.
Right.
So I thought, I'm going to give this another go, and then so I put it in the 360. And then got a message from iWhat40 Woofer saying that Squadron of Shame podcast had done a 2.5 hour episode on Nier
Oh God, he's talking about Nier again, lads.
Yeah, I know. But like someone else has done a 2.5 hour podcast on it, so
Right, okay, go on.
it was so I thought, I'll give it a little listen. And as soon as I started listening, like it starts with the opening strains of like the soundtrack album, and I was like, yeah, this is good. This, and then like Darksiders, I started playing it, and the guys run like, you know when people talk about games being clunky.
Yes.
This guy actually clunks when he runs. His armor goes
Right.
clunk, 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 clunk on every step. It reminds me of that game at E3 that we talked about. New Gods game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just felt like that as soon as it didn't feel like that before I thought about Nier. And then it was like, oh yeah, I tried playing this after Nier, and all I know about it is that it's slow.
So you've tainted yourself.
I have. I totally have. So, I remember that I've still got an ending left to do with Nier. So I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear that up before starting on Darksiders again.
Right, okay.
Because otherwise, all I'm going to think is this guy runs too slow, the music's a bit too boring, like, it's not Nier. That's all I'm going to think. Because it's like, one's the Western version of your Zelda type game.
Yeah.
And one's your Eastern version.
Okay.
And until I've got the one that I really love out the way, I'm not going to be able to enjoy the other one.
Yeah, it'd be interesting for you to do a comparison between the two, maybe. One day.
Definitely. Like, they are meant to be very similar in a lot of ways. And I know that I'll love Darksiders. Like, everything about it so far, I do really enjoy. It's just that I shouldn't go into it off the back of...
Yeah, playing one and then back into another.
Yeah. So, my thinking is I'm going to... See, I think I said in episode 1, I'm going to do all the side quests on Nier and then finish it.
Yeah.
But I figured, no, I'm just going to finish it. And then if I want to play it again, I'll do the side quest from there.
So you've got one more ending left to do, yeah?
Yeah. I've done A, B, and C. And then D, I know where the ending goes. But it's the doing it that kind of, you're kind of fulfilling the story by doing the ending. So, yeah. If you play it yourself. As they say they said it on this Squadron of Shame, right? And I'd never really thought about it like this. If you only do ending A, you've probably not even seen half of the story of the game. Oh, blimey. That's a really weird way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, totally, man.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they've literally locked off half of the story of the game.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then even when you have done that, there's about another third of the story that you can't get from from finishing the game in any of them. You need to actually go and look on the net and find out.
So do you get credits after ending A? Like, that's it. You could conceivably play ending A and go, right, that's the game, and then just walk away from it.
Well, once you've got the credits, or if you skip the credits, it says you've now unlocked playthrough B.
Right.
Like, do this to figure out more of the story or something along those lines. It brings up a lot on the screen.
Right.
But yeah, like, I know people that have only done ending A, and like some of them even enjoyed it, and it's like, holy shit! You've
missed a big old chunk of it.
Yeah, and it's one of the games that we will go back to because one day you'll
one day I will find it cheap in a bargain bin somewhere you can convert me to your weird hippie cult.
I promise you you'll love it, man. It's on Twitter, isn't it?
Yeah, mate.
I love. I hate to talk about Twitter on the podcast because
it looks like between us we've got to buy about 5 copies of Nier to distribute to different people you've promised a copy of Nier to.
Yeah, like, play it and then we'll talk about it another time.
Right, yeah, that's cool.
But again, if anyone didn't listen to the earlier shows and hasn't played it, fucking buy this game. I've decided.
Stop evangelizing. Stop it.
All right, but
it's the break now, okay?
No, it's my game. It's
the break.
Generation.
Break. Happy Day Eyes is filmed in front of a live, undead studio audience. Blow it!
Are you sure we're doing this right?
Blow harder! I think it's nearly there. Oh, this isn't working. Can't get this bloody cartridge to load. Right, what else can we do? I read somewhere you can use alcohol to clean the contacts. That might work.
No, I've tried that before. Total waste of 3 cans of Special Brew and a bottle of Baileys.
You're supposed to use white wine. I've got some in the fridge.
No, that's for getting rid of red wine stains, isn't it?
Well, then use the red wine first, stupid.
Piss off. Put that bottle down. That's a 2000 Chateau Neuf de Pape.
Oh, okay, fair enough. How about we soak the cartridge in vinegar and then bake it in the oven?
No, that's for conkers.
Conkers on the N64?
No, you twonk.
Oh, sod this. We've been trying to get this bloody game to load for ages. Come on, let's just shove the Xbox on.
Yeah, good idea, mate.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me. We've only got a red ring.
No worries, we've got the white wine in the fridge to clear that up.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's a medium dry, actually. And insert names here are back. Now, we've got some news this week. Do any of you, I'm speaking to Chazzy here in real time, obviously, but Peter Molyneux on Twitter, like, he comes up with some funny game ideas, and it's a parody of the designer Peter Molyneux. Now, Peter Molyneux, the real one, has done something that's even weirder than that.
Yes, he's out Molyneux'd Molyneux. Out Molyneux'd Molyneux? Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah. Yes. Either way, in fact, it's an infinite loop, isn't it? I think.
Yes.
So yeah, he's got a game coming out called Curiosity.
Yes.
It's going to be an iPhone game from the looks of things, from the prices, and yeah, like it might be on Android. Who knows? But yeah. So it's only going to cost 59p for the game, and what you have to do is keep tapping on the screen to open this container, and the person that opens it gets a massive surprise.
Yeah. No, he's not telling you. Yeah, he's not telling you what the surprise is. He's not telling you anything about it. All you can do is buy these chisels that range in prices, and you chip away at this block, and eventually the last person to chip this block away will open it, and something will happen. No one knows what it is.
Wouldn't it be great if it's one of them fart apps that sells?
It opens with a...
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Because like the reason that would be great is that one of these DLC items is it's like a crystal chisel, a diamond chisel that hits 100,000 times harder than the normal one that you get for the 59p game. But this costs you £50,000.
Mental.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
We're just going to leave you for a sec to think on 50,000.
Can you imagine the small child that actually happens upon this game where their dad's left it, mum or dad's left it open, and accidentally
not
downloads
purchases.
Yeah, and accidentally downloads the chisel for 50 grand. That would be hilarious. You know, you can just see the blood draining out of like the adults' faces even now.
Yeah. It's so nuts, and yet he thinks it's going to work, doesn't he? He thinks it's such a great idea. Well, and that's the beauty of Molyneux, is that he can't see the flaws.
Well, the thing is, though, apparently he's going to be taking the data from this, and it's going to somehow work its way into the new big game that he's developing, which is a really interesting idea, man.
Does he not say that with every game he does?
Well, yeah, I know, but I think what he's doing is this is like a bit of a social experiment.
Yeah.
To kind of to grab data and kind of see how people work, to then
how
for him
people
to
react
pull
to
on
the
that.
different price points that he puts in. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the hooks are that are in there, but yeah, from what I was reading, it sounded really, really interesting. And like I said, like it's a completely bonkers idea, but you can see like these people who like go out and get scratch cards and play on the lottery and stuff. Like it's just one of those things, isn't it? I'm going to be the
you
one.
say it's interesting.
The golden
it's interesting
ticket.
to see, but yeah, I've got a golden sun up in the sky. But
Blimey,
are you going to buy it?
There's some seriously deep Charlie and the Chocolate Factory knowledge there, mate. Sorry. Just want to pick you up on that. But yeah, am I going to buy
chocolate. What's your problem?
it? I'm going to, no. Am I going to buy it? You bet your ass I'm going to buy it for 59p. I'm getting in on that scratch card action.
Well, even though it gives you, that your chance of winning is less than 100,000th than the person who bought the DLC.
You've got to be in it to win it, son. You've got to be in it to win it.
Man, those odds are bad.
Yeah, mate.
They're not as bad as the lottery, I suppose. Yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, man.
But unless it's what if it's not a very good prize? What if it's like, oh, you win a free copy of the game that we're going to use to?
Yeah,
Man.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's mad, isn't it? Where's it going to go?
Yes, exactly. You don't know where it's going to go. It is properly just mysterious and Willy Wonka-esque. But yeah, I like it.
I know Peter Molyneux doesn't listen to our podcast, but if anyone ever plays him this, like if you've already made the game and someone plays it to you after, I hope you made something really good. But if it's not, then make it something it's really good.
No, man, it's injected. Tell you what it's doing. It is injecting a bit of fun and mystery into games. Right.
Oh, of course, it's brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's a brilliant idea.
It is a brilliant idea. Like we used, like the word "brilliant" gets used too often, but this is brilliant. The word "genius" gets used too often. This is genius, but in a way, like it's a thin line between madman and genius, as people say. Do you know what I mean?
Mate. And yes, mate.
Yeah, this could just be like, unless there's something good in that box, then you're going to get rinsed for the rest of eternity.
Exactly. You don't want to be the person who spent 50 grand on a chisel to find out that, like you say, you get a fart app at the end of it. So
yeah. See, my thing, the great thing would be, right, if the chisel, once you've unlocked it, like say the person that bought the chisel for 50,000, cracks it open. They crack it open and it says, "Congratulations, you've unlocked the £50,000 chisel for everyone else in the world. Now move on to the next cube." And that turns out that you have to pay 250,000. And like, see, he's calling it a social experiment. He could carry this on and like just rinse this one person for like their life savings.
Ridiculous money. Yeah. So what else has there been, man?
There's See, last week we forgot to talk about the Vita in our E3 kind of roundup.
Yes.
Now I know it was only our like early impressions, but there wasn't anything that interesting afterwards, really, was there? So
no, exactly.
Yeah, we're going to call it a day on E3. I'd say.
Yeah, man.
Up for that?
Totally. Like you said, like PlayStation didn't even talk about PlayStation Vita, so you know what I mean. Let's gloss over that and move on swiftly.
Pretty much, but what they did announce was that PlayStation Plus is now coming to Vita,
right?
And PS1 games, which should have been there from launch, really. And the one thing they really should have announced is the Need for Speed Most Wanted is coming to Vita.
Yes,
and apparently it's only shades off. Like the only real difference is in the detail of the shadows from the console versions. Yeah,
super.
Like it's apparently super close. And it's like, why didn't you announce that? You could have sold millions of Vitas through.
Yeah, it's a weird
20-second trailer.
There's some weird drip feeding of information coming out of that conference this year. But yeah, sounds interesting, man. Sounds interesting.
Like, and Sony spotted that they got it wrong as well. From even before the major sites had really done their E3 roundups, Sony had already apologized for not mentioning the Vita enough. So. It's like, if you knew that you were going to have to apologize for this, why didn't you just chuck some in? I can see their point. They're like, oh, we were constrained for time. But you've sold the PS3.
I'm not being funny. Fuck it. You could have fucked off Wonderbook, right?
Yep.
And you could have had a good 15-minute section in the middle of that talking about Vita. Honestly, Wonderbook, fuck off.
That's all it would have needed. Because like this apology said, don't worry, we've got 25 brand new games on the show floor that you didn't know about on Vita.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you're sitting here talking about a giant AR card. Like, fuck off. I don't want to know about an big AR card book. Boring.
What they need to do is sell you on the Vita. They need to sell like every gamer on the Vita. And yet they They've given up on it.
That whole conference confounded me, to be honest with you. But I don't want to start getting angry, so I want to move on from this as swiftly as we can.
But they had The Last of Us, so they won E3 apparently.
Yeah, well there you go.
The other thing is, do you remember they've done the Stranger's Wrath HD remake? Sorry, Oddworld inhabitants have made the Stranger's Wrath HD remake, and the Munchies Odyssey remake is on its way this summer. Well, Law Lanning has decided, downloadable games, HD remakes. I can make a bit out of this. Let's go back and do games again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, but it's quite nice that rather than doing an HD remake, to do it from scratch. Yeah, that shows a real love for your franchise, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think the guy's always really, really. I mean, that guy's so deeply entrenched in that series. You know, that's his universe. You know, that's like sort of taking, like a Stan Lee out of Marvel. You know, it's just like that's his.
Yeah,
thing,
it's like George Lucas and Star Wars, isn't it?
Yeah, totally, man.
Sort of intrinsically linked,
entwined. Yeah.
So. I'm looking forward to seeing them come out on, like, hopefully every platform possible.
Yeah, known to
man.
The
more people that play them, the better.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they were, even though they were really good sellers at the time, like nowadays, the market is so much broader. There's going to be all these people that haven't even seen those. So
yes, mate. And then there was going to be no one at all who will know. Follow me. Okay.
The only bit of the Abe's impression I can do is the fart noise, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, what else is there in the news, man?
Other than that, there's this one's kind of a serious story.
Yeah.
But do you remember Epic Games? Well, do you remember Silicon Knights, the people that made Eternal Darkness and Too Human?
Yes, mate.
They decided to take Epic Games to court because they weren't helping out enough with the Unreal Engine.
Yeah, they weren't supporting their engine once they'd sold it. Or not to the degree that Silicon Knights wanted, anyway.
Yeah, although every other developer in the world seems to have used Unreal Engine quite fine for thousands of games, for every game this generation.
Yes, mate.
But it wasn't good enough for Silicon Knights, so they thought, we're going to take Epic to court, and they did so. And it turns out there was an epic win, which for Silicon Knights is an epic fail.
Wah, 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 wah. Cheers for that. But
shall I find you that like wah wah trumpet noise that we used a few weeks ago? I don't even need to bother.
No, exactly.
Again, we're doing it in real time. Yeah, this isn't a cutscene. It's no CGI.
No, exactly.
So, the poor fellas, like the people that work for Dennis Dyack at Silicon Knights.
Yes.
It seems like, from reading between the lines, that they were working on Eternal Darkness 2 for the Wii U.
All right.
Which obviously now is going to be cancelled. I mean, the company's still up and running, but it looks like everything they've done is cancelled. There's been a lot of layoffs from, like the finance director has tweeted that he's being laid off and that kind of thing. So,
don't expect Eternal Darkness, like a sequel, anytime soon, basically.
Yeah, unless it's going to be a one-man indie thing by Dennis Dyack, and who knows what he ever did.
Well, yeah, it's true.
Like, who are you? Who are you?
I'm not going to go there. Don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
So keep my mouth shut and move on.
I don't think he's going to do anything, considering he just lost on something that he should have known from reading the terms of service of something that he bought.
Right.
But who sues the company for like they must have given enough support for Resident Evil 6 to come out. Right?
Well, yeah.
They've translated the support into Japanese. Capcom have used it. Square have used it for various numbers of their games.
Yeah.
Unreal Engine 3, who complains that it's not well documented enough?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
It's nuts. Crazy
just
nuts.
Just type into Google and you'll probably find out what you need to know. It's that ubiquitous, you know.
An indie dev will have figured it out better than you have.
Yeah,
Bless
man.
him.
But there you go.
Oh,
so is that it?
That all the
news, man?
for this week.
Sweet.
Now we have had an email this week.
Yes.
From Paul Hancock.
Yes.
And the email is H.
I know. It's either the most amazing troll we've ever had, or it's just someone's phone's just gone off in their pocket, you know?
Yeah, it could be that his phone's gone off in his pocket, or it could be that he's just gone, H is for hate, and that's what I'm going to send them. I hate the AI bots. Or he actually typed out this massive email, but had half of it copied and has pressed the wrong button.
Exactly, and we only
sent us the first letter.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. So,
Paul, having heard from you about the intricacies of blah, 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 blah.
Paul, thank you.
And if you did send us a proper email, then Like, if there's any way you can copy and paste it and send it again, then that would be awesome. And if it was just H, then my answer is fry it for 3 minutes in a little olive oil and butter, and then coat it in some freshly cut coriander.
And mine is, he was the slightly effeminate one from Steps.
Yes, correct.
So there you go. There you go.
So yeah, if you've got like a longer email than just a single letter, although we don't mind a single letter, that's fine. Like,
exactly.
if that's all you can type, don't worry.
We're gonna get 25 other emails now. That are just every other letter in the alphabet, I reckon.
And then there'll be a 26th that couldn't think of their own one.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
just gone for H again.
Well, we've already used H. Yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, if you've got your own email, do send it to us. Email at theaibots.com,
yep.
Or find us on Twitter at theaibots. Yeah, we love talking to people on Twitter. It's all good. So send us some ideas or thoughts or questions.
Come say hello.
And also, if you can, like, put us a review on iTunes. We'd love to hear what you think of the show. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's a bad review, we don't mind. We'd just rather hear not hear.
I mean, we'd rather have good reviews, but bad reviews are all good too. We need to know. The more feedback we can get, gives you a better show. So get involved, man, and let us know.
Right. And yeah, thanks for everyone that said they enjoyed last week's show. That's been
it's been amazing. It's been
a really nice pat on the bum.
Yeah, hearing a lot of really positive feedback, and that's fantastic. So thanks, guys. And right, I think we are done.
Yeah, pretty much. That's us.
Right, so should we get the F out of here?
Let's. I've got my shoes on and run.
Mate, you've had your coat on for like the last half of this show. Don't worry about that.
How dare you?
It's true, though. Right, let's get out of it.
Wicked. Take care, man.
All right, bye.
Laters. Bye-bye.